At exactly 0 p.m. Eastern Time today, January 19, 2026, a federal judge did something that has never happened in the 249-year history of the United States. A federal judge officially forwarded criminal allegations against a former president directly to Congress and demanded the immediate start of impeachment proceedings. Let me repeat that so it's absolutely clear. A sitting federal judge, after reviewing all the evidence in front of her, documented 14 violations of court orders, witness intimidation, obstruction of justice, and then concluded that Congress can no longer wait. This is not speculation, not anonymous sources. This is a 47-page legal document filed in federal court and publicly accessible right now. And within the next 72 hours, the U.S. House of Representatives will vote on whether Donald Trump will become the first president in history to face impeachment for the third time. Before we begin, I want to ask you one thing. If this video is useful to you, please subscribe and leave a like. This isn't just algorithm talk. Signals like this help this content reach more people. With your support, I can keep making more and better content. Thank you. Let's continue. I've been following this story for months. I've warned you this would happen. I told you judges would eventually stop allowing obstruction to continue, that the wheels of accountability would start turning. Today, those wheels are finally moving. Let me walk you through exactly what happened, what it means, and what comes next. First, let's understand precisely what happened today, because the details matter. Judge Tanya Chutkan is presiding over one of the federal criminal cases against Donald Trump. For months, she has faced something no federal judge has ever dealt with at this scale: a defendant openly refusing to comply with court orders. Gag orders were violated. Witnesses were contacted despite explicit prohibitions. Attacks were launched against prosecutors, the judge, and potential jurors on social media. Not once, not twice, but 14 documented times in just 3 months. Each time the court issued warnings, contempt citations, and fines, the behavior continued. Today, Judge Chutkan stopped merely warning and took a step called a formal criminal referral. Imagine this as a judge officially telling Congress, "I have run out of options. This defendant is so dangerous to the judicial process that you must act now." The wording in this referral is worth reading directly. I quote, "The defendant's repeated violations constitute a real and immediate danger to the administration of justice and require immediate intervention from Congress." A real and immediate danger. This is not just legal rhetoric. This is a judicial conclusion with enormous weight. And she didn't just send a summary. She sent the full evidentiary record. 14 violations of gag orders, each with timestamps, screenshots, and archived records. Transcripts from 7 separate contempt hearings where Trump was directly warned. Phone records showing coordination with co-defendants despite court-ordered communication bans. Social media posts targeting prosecutors, the judge, and jurors. Internal communications from Trump's own legal team acknowledging violations. Sworn statements from former federal judges calling this behavior unprecedented, and most damaging of all, audio recordings of Trump discussing plans to defy court orders with close associates. Evidence that shows not just behavior, but intent. This is the kind of evidence that ends careers, ends administrations, ends political movements, and it has all been delivered to Congress in a single 47-page document. Now here's what makes this moment historically significant. This has never happened before. Not during Watergate when Nixon resisted subpoenas. Not during Clinton's impeachment. Not during the Saturday Night Massacre. Never has a sitting federal judge formally initiated impeachment procedures against a president or former president. Judge Chutkan has crossed a line no judge has ever crossed because she concluded there was no other option left. And Congress was not surprised. To understand why Judge Chutkan took this extraordinary step, you need to understand how federal courts actually work. Judges have limited tools. When a defendant violates orders, judges can issue warnings, impose fines, declare contempt, or in extreme cases, revoke bail. But what happens when none of that works? What happens when a defendant is wealthy enough that fines mean nothing, powerful enough that imprisonment seems politically impossible, and reckless enough to ignore every warning? That was the dead end Judge Chutkan faced for months. Each violation increased the tension. Each ignored contempt citation made the court look weaker, and Trump, whether by instinct or strategy, kept pushing, naming prosecutors publicly, posting about witnesses in an ongoing criminal case, sharing information that could influence jurors, coordinating with co-defendants despite legal bans, and when warned, doing it again and again and again. This is what real obstruction looks like, not a single bad decision, not an emotional post, but a deliberate, repeated, documented pattern. And here's the crucial point most people miss. A judge's authority depends on enforcement. If orders can be violated without consequences, those orders become meaningless. If one defendant can ignore the court repeatedly, the entire system weakens. Judge Chutkan understood that continued tolerance was damaging the institution itself. Every unpunished violation sends a message, not just to Trump, but to every defendant in every federal courtroom. Follow the rules or don't, it doesn't matter. That's why she escalated. This referral isn't about politics, it's about institutional survival. And now, Congress must respond. Within hours of the referral, Congress moved faster than anyone expected. Articles of impeachment had already been drafted months earlier, quietly waiting in committee since November 2025. There are 8 specific charges: obstruction of justice, witness tampering, contempt of court, violation of court orders, abuse of power, conduct unbecoming a public official, threats to constitutional order, and incitement. Until today, those articles had about 87 co-sponsors, all Democrats, not enough to pass. Tonight, that number surged to 231. That's a majority in the House of Representatives. That's enough to impeach immediately. And here's the remarkable part. The new names aren't progressive Democrats. They are moderate Republicans from competitive districts who defended Trump in previous impeachments. Representative Mike Lawler from New York held a press conference this morning, a Republican from a Biden-won district. Listen to what he said. "I swore an oath to the Constitution, not to any individual. When a federal judge says a former president is obstructing justice, I have a duty to take that seriously." Political calculations changed overnight. Democratic leadership didn't wait. They invoked Rule 9, subsection 2, a fast-track procedure requiring a House vote within 72 hours. The motion was filed this morning, meaning by Monday, January 13th, the House will vote on whether to impeach Donald Trump for the 3rd time. With 231 committed co-sponsors, the math is undeniable. This is no longer about whether impeachment will happen, but by how large a margin. Will it be narrow, or will more Republicans defect over the weekend? The list is growing by the hour. Meanwhile, Trump's response has made everything worse. Since yesterday, he has been posting nonstop on Truth Social, capital letters, attacks on the courts, claims of political persecution. But then one post triggered alarm across Washington. If Congress moves forward with this witch hunt, patriots must gather in Washington. The Second Amendment is for moments like this. Read that again. A former president openly calling for armed resistance against Congress. This is not campaign rhetoric. Security agencies are treating it as a real threat. National Guard units have been mobilized, steel barricades erected, supporters gathering near the National Mall, counter-protesters near the Supreme Court. This is the reality now. Not because of an election, not because of a foreign threat, but because a former president faces impeachment and calls for resistance. And this isn't just political anymore. The evidence has also been sent to the Department of Justice. This means parallel criminal investigations are underway. Federal grand juries in Washington, Miami, and Atlanta are active. New indictments could come at any time. So now imagine this: a Senate trial happening while federal grand juries issue new charges at the same time. Multiple accountability systems operating simultaneously, impeachment, criminal prosecution, and even discussions of the 25th Amendment. Yes, even that is being discussed. Quiet conversations about removing a president for inability to serve. The fact it's even being considered shows how serious this situation is. Meanwhile, the Republican Party is fracturing in real time. Loyalists double down, moderates step away. Internal tensions rise as elections approach, and internationally, the consequences are already visible. Allies are worried, rivals are watching. Instability at this level always has global effects. For ordinary people, this means uncertainty, economic instability, loss of trust, and security concerns. Markets react to uncertainty. Families feel the tension. Security forces prepare for worst-case scenarios. This is not just political drama. It's real life for people in Washington right now. And looking ahead, there are several possible scenarios. impeachment and conviction, impeachment and acquittal, use of the 25th Amendment, or new criminal indictments. Some of these could happen simultaneously. The key point is this: Trump is not facing one threat, he's facing multiple threats from every direction at once. Congress, courts, criminal investigations, and political divisions are all converging. Over the next 72 hours, we will find out which of these paths becomes reality. Before closing, remember three things. First, a federal judge has formally referred criminal conduct to Congress for the first time in U.S. history. Second, the House will vote on impeachment within days, and approval is almost certain. Third, this is bigger than impeachment. Criminal investigations continue, the 25th Amendment is being discussed, and political divisions are deepening. Thank you for watching until the end. Don't forget to subscribe and like if this helped you understand what's really happening behind the headlines. I'll continue covering this story as it develops. Let me know in the comments what you think Congress should do and what you expect to happen. This is one of those moments where being informed truly matters. See you in the next episode.